So its eigenvalue will be the diagonal entries 1, 3 and minus 2. So therefore eigenvalues of A are 1, 3 and minus 2. So eigenvalues of A cube are what? Just take the cube of corresponding eigenvalues. So that is 1, 27 and minus 8. So 1 cube is 1, 3 cube 27 and minus 2 cube is minus 8. So similarly eigenvalues of A square will be 1 square, 3 square and minus 2 square. And eigenvalues of I are 1 square, sorry, eigenvalues of A are 1, 1, 1 because I is identity matrix. So eigenvalues of this expression will be what? So first eigenvalue. So first eigenvalue of A cube will be what? 1. A square is also 1. A 1 and I is also 1. So it is 4. Second eigenvalue is eigenvalue of A is 3. So its cube is 27, 9, minus 3 and 2. Third eigenvalue. So required eigenvalues are 4, 1, 1, 0 and 10. So by usual method, if we find this expression first, then it will be very complicated procedure. Find out A cube, then A square and multiply 3, 5, add that. So it will be very complicated. So using that preposition, our calculation will be reduced. Now this preposition says that it gives some information about A and P inverse AP. So what is the proposition? If A and P are be the same matrices of the same size, and if P be invertible, then the matrices A and P inverse AP have the same characteristic roots. So it's proof. So let us say B is equal to P inverse AP. So what should be our claim? A and B have the same characteristic equation, then we are done. So let us start with B minus lambda I. So but B is what? By our assumption B is P inverse AP. So P inverse AP minus lambda I, P inverse AP minus multiply both P inverse and P. So now take P inverse common and from left and P common from right. Now taking determinant on both the sides. So now we can give the individual determinant, determinant of P inverse, determinant of A minus lambda and determinant of P. And now determinant is what? Now they are some real numbers. So we can arrange in P inverse in determinant of P inverse into determinant P into determinant of A minus lambda I. So by simple algebra of determinants, we will get determinant of A minus lambda I. So B minus lambda I is equal to determinant of A minus lambda I. It means the characteristic polynomial of A and B are same. So thus the matrices A and B have the same characteristic equations and hence the same characteristic roots. Now eigenvectors. So find the eigenvectors of this matrix. So first of all we find the eigenvalues. So the characteristic equation of A is this. On expanding the determinant we will get this cubic polynomial. Factorizing it we get lambda minus 1, lambda square minus 5, lambda plus 6 equal to 0 and so on. So lambda equal to 1, 2, 3 are its characteristic roots. So now let us find first to find the eigenvector of the corresponding eigenvalues. Consider the matrix equation this. A minus lambda I x equal to 0. See by definition x is what? X is eigenvector of A corresponding to lambda. So take Ax minus lambda I x and take x common. So we get A minus lambda I x is equal to 0. Okay. So now eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 1. Put lambda equal to 1 in star. So what we get? Just replace lambda by 1 in this equation. So we get this. Now on simplification we will get this matrix. See 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1 1 and 3 minus 1 2. Okay. So now this is what? This is system of homogeneous equations. So solving this, so what we get, 0 into x1 plus 0 into x2 minus x3, so equal to 0. So just minus x3 is equal to 0. Now next equation, x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0. Just on multiplication of the matrices on left hand side. And this is third equation. So here we say that if we take 2 common from the last equation, then second and third equation will become same.
Equal.
Right? So we only these two equations, see, so second and third are same, so we have only two equations. Now x3 is 0, so second equation becomes x1 plus x2 is equal to x3 is 0, so last equation becomes x1 plus x2 equal to 0. So let us set x2 is equal to k, then what we have, x2 is equal to k and x1 plus k equal to plus 0 is 0.
So we cannot take here k equal to 0. Why we can take here only k?
See here k is any real number. See here we have two equations, right? x3 equal to 0 and x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. If we put x3 equal to 0 in second equation, then we have what, x1 plus x2 is equal to 0. So one equation and two unknown or two variable, right? So we take any one variable is equal to any constant. We can take 0 also, right? But let us see what happened if we take k is equal to 0, then what we get, x3 is 0, x2 is 0, right? So x1 is also 0. So the eigenvector will be x1, x2, x3. So it is 0, 0, 0. And in our definition, what we have considered, a non-zero vector x belongs to R3 is said to be eigenvector, and so on, so, right? So we need some non-zero vector. So we are taking k is some non-zero and it will be any number from R. So here we take k is equal to 0 also, but here we have take k is equal to 1. If we take k 0, then what happen? 0, 0.
Everything becomes 0.
0. So the eigenvector will be 0. So eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2, the same procedure, replace lambda equal to 2 in that equation star. So put lambda equal to 2 in star. So let us see what is star. Star is this. Just replace lambda by 2. Okay. So just replace lambda by 2. Then we will get this matrix. So now solve this. So minus x1 plus 0 x2 minus x3 equal to 0. So we will get these three equations. So but here we say that let us consider first two equations and solve these two equations by Cramer's rule. So by Cramer's rules, it is x1 upon something minus x2 upon something and x3 upon something. So we know that how to solve these equations by using Cramer's rule. So I am not giving the detail of this. So it is what, x1 is equal to minus 2k, x2k and x3 is 2k. So now take k common, so we get minus 2, 1 and 2. Now choose k equal to 1. Here we can choose k equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 7 by 8, whatever. But k equal to 1 will be, gives some nice form. K equal to 1, then it is minus 2, 1, 2. If we take k equal to say 1 by 3, so minus 2 by 3, 1 by 3.
Complicated.
Yeah, it becomes some complicated. So we take some k is equal to 1. So x2 is what, minus 2, 1, 2. So from here we, if we choose different values of k, then we get different eigenvectors. So corresponding to our eigenvalue, we will get infinitely many eigenvectors. So eigenvector is not unique. So now eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 3. Put lambda equal to 3. and do the same procedure. So we get these three equation. So here it is not necessary that consider only first two expression. You may consider any two equations. So we'll choose that two equations so that we get
easily
to find the solution. Let us consider these two equations. So solving by Cramer's rule. Take k common, so it is minus 1, 1, 2. Again choose k is 1. So minus 1, 1, 2 will be the eigenvector. So corresponding to lambda 1 equal to 1, we get this eigenvector. Corresponding to lambda 2, we get this eigenvector. Corresponding to lambda 3, we get these three eigenvectors. So here the eigenvalues are different and corresponding eigenvectors are also different. Now this example. So here in this example we will get repeated eigenvalues. Repeated means one eigenvalue will repeat. So find the eigenvector of the matrix this. So now this is routine practice. Characteristic equation of the matrix will be this. On expanding the determinant, so we'll get lambda equal to 1, 1, 3. So here 1 is repeated eigenvalue. So let us find its corresponding eigenvector. So to find eigenvector of the corresponding eigenvalue, so as we have proceeded, a minus lambda I x is 0. So we have this matrix equation. Now put lambda equal to 1. So we'll get eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 1. So put lambda equal to 1 in star. So we have this. So on simplification, we have this matrix. So from the matrix we can see that the equation corresponding to first and second row will be the same, right? And corresponding to third row, there is no information. 0x1 plus 0x2 plus 0x3 equal to 0. So 0 equal to 0. So there is no information. So leave it. So we have only these two equations, and these two equations are also same. So we have only one equation. So here we have one equation and three unknown, x1, x2 and x3. So choose any two variable or two unknown equal to some parameter, and these two variables are also known as free variable. So set x1 is k and x2 is t, where k and t are some real numbers. Then what we have, x1 is k and x2 is t, so k plus t plus x3 is 0. So x3 becomes minus k plus t. So what happened, x is equal to x1, x2, x3, so is equal to x1 is what, k, x2 is t, and x3 is minus k plus t. So it can be write in this format, k into some vector plus t into some vector. So see what we have, only k. In first row we have k, there is no t, so k is 1. In second row we have only t, there is no k, so coefficient of k is 0. And here in third row coefficient of k is minus 1. And here there is no t, there is no t, so its coefficient is 0. There is no k, so its coefficient is 1. And here coefficient of t is minus 1. So if we take k is equal to 1 and t is 0, okay, so here k into some vector plus t into some vector. So let us take one by one. K is 1, t is 0, right? And then t is 1 and k is 0. So we get two different vectors, 1 0 minus 1 and 0 1 minus 1. So eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 3. So eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 3, just put lambda equal to 3 in that standard equation, matrix equation. So here we corresponding to lambda equal to 1, we get two different eigenvectors, right? And both the vectors are different. So sometime it may happen values are repeated 1 1, then corresponding to that 1 1 we may get only one eigenvector. We will see the next example, but it may happen. It is not necessary that we will get always two different eigenvectors. So let us see eigenvectors corresponding to the remaining eigenvalue lambda 3. So just replace lambda equal to 3. So we get, now solving this system of equation by usual Cramer's rule. So considering last two equation and solve it. So if we solve it, then what we get? x1 is 2k, x2 2k, and x3 is 0. So x3 is equal to what? x1, x2, x3, 2k, 2k, and 0. So see here, if we take k is equal to 1, then it is 2, 2, 0. But here I have considered k equal to 1 by 2. So it becomes 1, 1, 0. You may take k equal to 1 also. So corresponding to lambda equal to 1, we get this 1, 1, 0, minus 1. Lambda 2, the second value is also 1. So corresponding to that, we get 0, 1, minus 1. And corresponding to 3, 1, 1, 0. Now again, the next example is repeated eigenvalue. But here we get something different as compared to first example. Example number 8. So find the eigenvectors of this matrix, and let us skip this portion. Its eigenvalues are 2, 2, 3.
Repeated eigenvalue.
Yes, repeated eigenvalue. In first example, we get 1 as a repeated eigenvalue. Here we get 2 as a repeated eigenvalue. So to find eigenvectors for the corresponding eigenvalue, we'll consider this matrix equation. Now put lambda equal to 2 to find eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 2. So on simplification, we get this. Right. So let us skip these calculations. It is same as previous example, and directly we say that the eigenvector corresponding to, okay, see here, x is equal to, we get this, right? So k into 5 2 minus 5. So take k is 1, so we get 5 2 minus 5. So note that here we get one eigenvector corresponding to repeated value lambda 1 and lambda 2. So finally, eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 3. So corresponding to 3 we will get, let us skip this. So lambda 1, lambda 2 is equal to 2, we get only one eigenvector. Lambda equal to 3, we get only one eigen. So here we get only two different eigenvectors.
That means last two example we can say that every different eigenvalues have not compulsory eigenvectors.
Yes.
Right?
Have not different eigenvectors. For repeated eigenvalues, we may have one
same
eigenvector.
eigenvector.
Same eigenvector.
Okay.
So now we have some problem that is called diagonalization problem. So let us see what is diagonalization. First of all, see the definition.
Okay.
So definition: a square matrix A is called diagonalizable if there is a matrix, invertible matrix P, such that P inverse AP is diagonal matrix, and matrix P is said to be diagonalizable, said to be diagonalize A. That matrix P is said to be diagonalize A. So now what is the procedure? So, and let us say this problem, diagonalization problem. So what is this problem? Suppose you have given matrix A, a square matrix n cross n. So it is always possible that such matrix P exists. So does there exist an invertible matrix P such that P inverse AP is diagonal matrix? Diagonal matrix means all the entry other than diagonal are 0. So there is some theorems, but we will skip these theorems and let us see one example how to find the diagonalizable matrix. So forget about all this result, we will skip all this result. But what is the procedure? So let us see procedure. Procedure for diagonalize a matrix. So first of all, find n linearly independent eigenvectors of A. Right? I hope all of you know what is linearly independent and linearly dependent. So find out the eigenvectors which are linearly independent. Now from the matrix P, so we will construct matrix P using that vectors. So consider its column vectors are P1, P2 up to Pn, and consider this, find out its inverse, multiply that inverse and P side to the A, then we will get the matrix will be a diagonal, and the diagonal entries will be also lambda 1 up to lambda n, its eigenvalues of A. So let us see one example. So find a matrix B that diagonalize A. Suppose we have given this matrix A. Now from example 7, eigenvalues of A are what? 1, 2 and 3, and it can be easily calculated. So, and respective linearly independent eigenvectors will be also this. Say first corresponding to lambda 1 is P1, corresponding to lambda 2 is P2, and corresponding to lambda 3 P3. And consider this P1, P2, P3. P1 first column, P2 second column, P3 third column. So we will get this. Since P1, P2, P3 are linearly independent, its determinant will be not equal to 0. So verify that its determinant is non-zero, and why it is non-zero, right? Its reason is these vectors P1, P2 are linearly independent. So P inverse will be exist, and so it's linearly independent, so its inverse exists. And let us find its inverse. So this is, we can see on the slide, P inverse is what? 1 by 3 this, and it is easy to calculate. So now find out this expression P inverse AP. So P inverse AP will be, this is P inverse A and P. So if you find its multiplication, on simplification you will get 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, 3 are what? Diagonal, that is eigenvalues of matrix A. See here in P, the first column is what? The eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 1, second column is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2, and third column is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 3. If you interchange the order P1, P2 and P3, means eigenvectors in P, then you will get corresponding changes in this final diagonal matrix. So now Professor T.A. Desai will continue with the application of this eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So please.
Dear student,